Did you ever get fucking like zonkered drinking or?
I mean, I've gotten really drunk, but I do have one time. I mean, I didn't do a lot of drugs, but one time I did go on a total drug like bender.
What's the hardest drug you've ever? Oh, hardest drug I've ever done is weed. What's the hardest drug you've ever done?
I did cocaine.
Have you done coke?
I've done, yeah. In my nose. Right.
Is that where you put it?
Yeah. I was out of, when I graduated from high school outside of Vancouver, BC, I moved down to California because I wanted to make movies. And I was going to school down there, and then my parents were still living there. And so I'd come up for winter break and stuff and see my high school buddies. And one year when I went back for Christmas break, one of my friends was like, "Hey man, you want to do some blow?"
Are you sure this isn't less than zero?
It does end with me sucking a dude's dick. Not to jump to the end, but yeah, he's like, he was like, "Hey man, like, you want to do some blow?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "All right, I'll do it." I mean, I was always up for trying stuff.
Really?
Which leads to the dick. Well, if you're
like,
up for trying.
now that you've done that blow, how about doing a rail off my hard cock? And you're like, sure, I'm always up for trying shit.
You do some blow, and then you blow me. And then, so he was like, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So the first night we're going out, because it was two nights of blow madness, of white powder, and
That's how you were screaming after your first line. You're like, white powder! White powder! They're like, I think you're confusing Coke and the Aryan Nation. This isn't cool.
So we were leaving his house, and I hadn't seen most of my friends in a year, and so we're leaving his house, and we're in his car. And all of a sudden, I don't know if we'd snorted anything yet, and this car like whips in front of us, screeches to a stop. We have to screech to a stop. All these guys pile out of the car and run back towards our car.
This is less than zero, man. Did this really happen to you?
This really happened. And I'm
I don't know this story.
So the car pulls up, these guys run out, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I think I'd had a couple beers at that point, and then my friend's in the other seat, or I might have been in the back seat, I can't remember where. And these guys rush out, they grab my friend in the car, like kind of reach in and like they grab him, and they're like big dudes, and they're threatening him, and they're yelling, and they look at me, and it's like, "You just shut the fuck up and sit there," which I totally did. Because I
like, hold on. You start smoking weed immediately. You're like, this is how I shut up and sit there.
I need a couple more hits. Wait.
He's like, don't creepily moan either.
I'm gonna die. So this whole thing happens, and the gist I get from it, because even when it's over, my friend doesn't really, he's just kind of like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's just like, after they all leave, you're like, what the fuck was that? He's like, what, that? Nothing.
Yeah, that's Friday night.
That's Julian, man. He just, he's a little upset.
That's how we hang, man.
That's how he threatens me, okay?
Don't be a pussy. Don't ruin this night. So I take from it that this guy was probably the guy selling him the cocaine.
Right.
And
you never got an explanation.
He was just kind of like, ha 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 ha. He just kind of laughed it off, and I just kind of was like, I don't know, when are we going to do the blow? And so we did a little bit that first night. We didn't do that much, and I was like, right on. Like it was, I had a good time. Like we were all, all amped up, and you just fucking drink like you're like you could drink anything. Yeah, he knows. You're just like I didn't even like shit, and we were like, normally I would drink beer, but we were at a place I was like, oh, I'm a triple black Russian. Like
really?
Yeah, like you were just drinking.
Like, give me a drink with milk in it.
Not much alcohol, not much milk. So we're just powered.
That's because of the coke? Because you do coke?
I think so. It's like you just don't. For me, it's like no matter how much I drank, I just didn't feel it the same way. You're just like you're so you're so amped up, and then it's like one's an upper and one's a downer, I guess. So I was obviously had more upper in me, so I was able to really get down.
Right.
So the next day.
Day two
of our fucking...
Of Less Than Mosier?
Yeah. We're,
Which coincidentally was the title of my autobiography. Kevin Smith, Less Than Mosier.
Why'd you change it?
didn't sell very well.
So
people are like, who's Mosier? Why are you less than him? I'm like, well, I'll read the book. They're like, no.
That's tough on an author when people say no. So we get up the next day, and this is going to be like the big Coke day, because somebody brought a lot. And, big Coke day. And
Coke is a social drug.
I guess so. I mean, my experience was that like you get so wired, but you do get, to me, you get more wired into your own thing. Like you're not like going, hey man, we gotta fucking hang out a lot. Like you're more just like, you're just all over the place. Like you're super wired, and they're just like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? I know you. I've seen you before. Let's go over here. Wait a minute. Don't come with me. Like just super energetic, which for me is really weird. And so we started going out, did some lines off the fucking hood of his car. It was like an older model. And so it was black, which was cool with the white. And so we do some lines off there, and then we go to a bar, and then we do some more lines, and then we go to a strip bar, which in Canada is like a bar. Like, titty bars are not...
I've never done, so you do a line, how long does that last?
Obviously for him it lasted 10 minutes. Obviously, for a novice like me, it lasted a little bit longer. Felt like it lasted longer.
And then you overcome...
It doesn't last that long. Like, probably like, I would say 30 minutes as a non-professional Coke taker. It was a little bit longer. You do something, then you go drink, do something, and then you are constantly going like, let's do a line. Why aren't we doing lines? Give me a line.
Does it make
the
you...
fuck?
Where are the lines? What happened to the lines? You smoked the lines?
Read between the lines. I want a line.
I'm waiting on line. For what? For some lines. What, does it make you want to fuck? Yeah. Where's that girl?
Yeah. Does anybody have some blow?
Does it make you want to fuck, Scott?
It gives you like, I was confused.
Made you want to fuck a guy?
I was like, this is a pussy, all right?
He's like, sure, it's
too many lines. He's like, let him go.
Let him go. Yeah, it's a pussy. I got an Audi. Go ahead. Oh, that clit feels hot. I can't believe this coked up Mosier kid sucking my cock.
We gotta keep him
we'll
around.
give him weed and he won't tell anybody about it because he'll just be like, ooh.
But it is definitely a pattern of like you're constantly like it's the source of energy. So you're always just like, yeah, more.
Like, let's return to the source.
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of natural, but it's not. Yeah. Is it natural? It comes out of the earth or what? It comes out of a plant, right? Poppy seeds, cocoa. Is it made of the same shit that it's made of yoo-hoo, right?
Yeah. It's basically yoo-hoo.
Fair enough.
So we were doing more lines, drinking. I remember dancing a lot.
With a guy?
No, I was dancing.
It sounds like you went on like a fucking coke-addled gay weekend.
Yeah. I'm like, what's with all these rainbow flags? This is awesome.
You're like, and then I woke up, we were in Provincetown.
I was dancing with like girls. Like we ended up.
Were they doing coke too?
I don't think so. I got in there, I was really fucking like hopped up. I was really energetic. And this is not, you know me, and it's like for me to like run into a club and be like, who wants to dance?
Yeah.
It's like, the fact that I could recreate that moment is like, I was not that guy. And so I got there and I was like, there was girls that I'd gone to school with and like I was dancing and I was energetic, but it was like the sex thing to me was just like, I was so fucking energetic. I couldn't stop moving around to fuck. I couldn't stop. I couldn't be in one place. And so I'm like flying around, just bumping all over the place, doing more blow, running around. And finally, like another friend of mine's like, hey man, hey, we're gonna go smoke a joint. You wanna go do it? I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go do that.
It just makes you open to suggestion like hell.
Well, you're just like, literally, if anybody throws anything out, you're just like, fuck yeah, let's go. Why are you going so slow? Where's the joint? And so we go out around the club, and we're right behind the club, and he pulls out a big joint. And I'm just like, yeah, man. I'm like taking big hits on it. Uh-huh. No sense of like self-preservation. No sense of like, this is stupid or that I'm, in my mind, I'm like, this will make it better.
Yeah, I'll even out with this joint.
Yeah, this is perfect. So I take a few hits. I kind of get back in the club. And right around that point, when I get back in, there's the girl I've been dancing with. I'm like, oh man, I'm suddenly not getting all energetic. I don't want to dance. I'm like, quit trying to fucking dance with me.
So she's like, Scott, you're back, woo!
I'm not back. So I like.
Who are you? Get off of me. I'm high now.
So I end up backing out of the club, telling people not to dance with me. And I get outside, and then my friend, the one with the car and the guy who pulled us over, he's in the car that we were doing lines off of. And he is ultimately like, he's acting stoned, like he's real calm, and like he's just chilling. And so I get in the passenger seat, and I can't talk like normal when I smoke pot, but my heart is racing at 1,000,000 beats per second.
Right.
I can't talk. Sitting in the car next to him, my eyes are like this fucking big, and I'm like, I'm gonna die.
This was going through your head.
Oh, my immediate reaction was just like, oh my God, I just killed myself with some blow and a joint. Like I was literally like, this is the last moment of my life, and in this guy's car is not
like,
that nice.
Shit, I've had a Vancouver speedball.
I did. I was like, it was my Belushi moment, and I'm sitting in the car next to him, and he's like, he starts pouring out his heart about like this girl, and like,
I just see this him being like, sometimes Scott, I just really want to kiss you, man, and you're like, he's like, Scott,
he's like, is that a yes?
Yeah. If you don't want me to suck your dick, say no. He's like, I'll take that squeal as compliance.
I'm like, suck this out of me. I don't want to die. And so I'm sitting there, and he's trying to tell me the story. And
what's the story? I interrupted you.
It was about a girl, and like, I think he was with a girl, and like, he was with a girl, and she wasn't with him. I was just literally like, I was gonna die.
Yeah, really?
I wasn't really that worried about it. I just remember him going like, oh man, like, I really like her, and I don't know about this, I don't know about that. And I'm like, and I can't speak, and suddenly my mouth is so dry. Like, I'm like, I fucking need a drink. I need water, and I need water bad. And we're in Vancouver, so it's raining. And I'm like looking at my friend. My eyes, of course, are huge. And I'm trying to be a good friend, so I keep looking over to be like, yeah, is that what, yeah. She's a real nice girl, yeah. And then I roll down the window, like slowly, and I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. And I start rubbing my hand on the roof of the car. And then I lick it, and I'm like, and for 20 minutes, he's pouring his heart out, and I'm just like, yeah, oh my God, I feel so bad for you.
You know the dude when he tells the story is like, one time Scott Mosier came on to me in the weirdest way. He started licking the roof of the car.
Staring into my eyes.
And staring at me creepily. Did he even notice, or was he so lost in being stoned?
He literally didn't pay any attention to what I was doing. That's why it's like he was more like stoned, just like he was almost like looking forward and just contemplating his life. And I was too, but I was contemplating the end of my life. And so I'm going like this, I'm licking my hand. And then finally at some point, I'm not dead at that point, and I'm not dead now, so you know how it ends. And we start nobody should do this, but we ended up driving home.
You drove?
I didn't drive. Oh, fuck. I was like, unless I have both hands in the roof of the car, I'm like driving with my knees. And somehow he lived
You're driving from on top of the roof of the car.
Yeah.
You're like, you work the pedals with your foot, and I'll drive with my hand from up here while I lick the roof.
It looks natural from here. We'll never be arrested.
If you see a cop, be cool.
So I don't really remember the drive back. I just remember he lived at the end of this one cul-de-sac. And so all I remember is that he drives, and then suddenly the car stops, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And he's like, oh, man. He's like, fuck, dude, wait, come on. He's like, you gotta, this isn't my house.
Was he poking you the whole time he was saying it? Like
he was just like, come on, hey.
It sounds like he was having like an argument with you, like, come on, hey now, hey. This ain't my house.
Stop licking the roof and pay attention, because this is not my house.
Hey.
It's not my house, man.
Hey, tasty roof. We're home.
And I'm like, well, fuck, where are we? And so picture like, this is one cul-de-sac. Here's the other cul-de-sac. So we're parked here, and he lives here. So why he didn't have the idea of just leaving the car there and walking
1 block over
25 feet to his house, but he was like, and then for whatever reason also, he was like, you gotta drive.
He had taken it as far as he could.
He did. He was like, he was over, and for some reason it was like, no man, you gotta get us there. It ain't gonna be good. They'll know about all this stuff. And I'm like, and I was like, holy fuck. I get in the car, I get in the driver's seat, and I'm literally like I've been driving for a few years, and suddenly I'm like, what the fuck is all this stuff?
It's like you went to the fucking cockpit of an airplane.
I'm just like, I can't land this thing, come on.
So many switches and dials.
So I finally go like, okay, and I'm like, wheel, accelerator, and then like we start going. It probably took me 20 minutes to drive what would be the equivalent of like 50 yards. Like I was going like, as soon as it started going just slightly too fast, I would slam on the brakes. And it's like 3 or 4 in the morning, so no one's anywhere out there. Nobody's paying any attention. There's just 2 guys like going, and then I like, so we get,
one's licking the roof.
Yeah, I'm still going like,
the other's licking your balls.
Yeah. I'm like, it helps. It helps me concentrate.
That keeps me focused. That's good. Keep doing that.
Don't touch my dick, though. That's gay. Stick to the nuts. This is Canada. Nuts are fine.
If I come, it's not you. I was just thinking of something else.
Yeah, I'm really high. I come when I'm nervous. It just happens. So then we get all the way around. I think ultimately it's like, he actually did a good parking job on the other side. I parked like half on his lawn.
Thus probably getting him in more
so the
trouble
whole
than
idea,
had he left it a
exactly.
block
So the whole
away.
idea of being like, let's hide what we've done. So then we finally go to bed. So we finally go to bed. We finally.
I knew it, dude. I fucking knew that's where the story's going. My buddy got me high and we fucked there.
But it was funny, so fuck it. It entertains people.
The roof wasn't the only thing I was licking.
He's like, there's perspiration on my dick. I'm like, I don't care. We finally go in, and he like, there was like a basement thing, and he like passed out on the couch, and I don't know, I think I was like, found a blanket, and I was laying on the floor, and like, I was just going like, I was still in my head, I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, it's not over. Like, even the car thing, that was a test. I passed it, but I'm still gonna die.
Right.
And this is where the story runs out of juice, and I pass out, and
And you don't die.
I don't die. I didn't die.
I
did not die.
If I'm you, though, and I do think I'm dying, it would have been even more awkward, because I probably would have been like, could you jerk me off before I die? I've always wanted to come before I die. And then if I didn't die the next day, I'd be like, sorry about jerking me off.
Yeah, you know, it happens to the
Once
best
again,
of us.
man, fucking handle your fucking high.